Right, so I begin with the use of Stata. You see now here, the shared screen contains the Stata screen, welcome screen. Okay. To begin with, you click File, Log, Begin. And then I will have to put a file name here. Now, please take note that the extension, it's just in small text, is .smcl. All right, so I'll record it. This is our session on December 4, 2021. Okay, we will find out later that all commands that we are going to record here will be recorded in that file name. So, mayroon pang babalikan. Okay? Next, the first one that I will teach you is, if you see here, this portion, ayan, this is data editor edit. Now, there's another one, data editor browse, and there's the other one, variables manager. Now, for today, we are going to use data editor edit. Now, if I open this, it gives me a spreadsheet that is similar to your Excel spreadsheet. Now, question, Julius, do you see the spreadsheet?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, you see the spreadsheet. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we will transfer the result of your survey from the Excel file that you submitted to me here. Okay, now I have downloaded one file. Okay, so this is the survey result of Fe Reyes. Do you see the Excel file of Fe?
Yes.
Okay, Fe, hindi ka masyadong nagkaroon ng cleaning of data, no? May nakikita akong dobling mga sumagot eh. Fe?
Yes, sir.
Oh, like si I see that Danica G. De La Cruz answered twice in your survey.
Ay, opo, sir.
Napansin mo?
Hindi ko po na. Ay, opo, sir.
Guys,
Dumoble po.
let us help in cleaning the data before we transfer. Bago natin i-transfer dun sa natin. Dun sa ating Stata. Ito yung result kasi nung survey ni Fe. Okay. So, meron siyang name. So, if I look at the names, ayan. So, nakikita ko si Danica 2 beses sumagot. Can I erase yung isa? No? The normal thing that we do in Excel, we just delete. Can you see some more kung meron pang dumoble? Si Pascual, Polido, Julius, Christine, Paras, Perez, Mangalindan. O you tell me pag may dumoble Jesusa, Chris Mark, o Danica is there. De La Cruz Rachel, Mark De Dios, Salonga Angelica, Pangilinan Jaime, Carmina, Christina, Rosabel, Camel, is it Camel or Camel? Micah and Jesus. Wala na bang dumoble?
Wala na po, sir. Wala na po.
Christine Joy Panuelos po.
Wala na po.
Christine Joy.
Okay.
Wala na po.
This is
Meron dalawa. Christine Joy Panuelos po, sir. Christine Joy Panuelos.
Christine Joy, dumoble ba?
Opo.
Ayun, tama. O, see? No? Tanggalin din natin yung isang Christine Joy. So before you transfer to Stata, medyo magkaroon ka na ng cleaning. No? Okay. Tapos to Stata kasi is very strict. Pag numbers, numbers. So okay naman to lahat numbers. No? Okay. Tapos, what did you ask for the designation? Meron silang choices ba? Like teacher 1, teacher 2, tapos others. Yun ba yung ginawa mo?
Opo, sir.
Correct.
Teacher 1, 2.
Eto, ba't may nakikita akong foreign? Okay. How did you ask this?
Ano po?
Yung educational level taught. Short answer ba to or may pinapili mo sila?
Pinapili ko din po sila, sir.
So meron ding choice na foreign.
Wala po akong nilagay. Wala po, sir.
Paano siya
Primary,
magbukas na
secondary, tertiary. Others po yung nakalagay, sir.
So may nilagay kang others. Ayan. Tapos yung others, meron siyang
siguro
short
po.
answer. Tama. Paano mo siyang nilagay?
Parang wala po, sir. I-click lang niya yung other.
O let's ask si yung sumagot, si Christine Joy.
Meron po ata, ma'am. Others po, tapos may short answer po.
That's why
May nailagay ako, ma'am.
That's why Christine yung answered foreign. Tama.
Yes po, sir.
Ayan.
Apo. Okay, sir.
Pwede palitan na natin ng others. Correct na natin, no? Okay, kasi those are the choices, no? Others.
Sige po, sir. Opo.
Ayan. And then for the Likert, okay. So ano yung Likert scale mo? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is it a 5-point Likert scale? I suppose yes.
Opo.
Okay. At okay naman itong mga numbers niya, no? So more or less, this is now transferable to our Stata. Okay. Now, when I transfer, I just click Control A. That means select all. Tapos copy. Yun lang. Tapos lipat na ako dun sa Stata ko. Here. I'll just click paste. Question, anong nakikita niyo sa screen? Nakikita niyo ba yung data editor ng Stata?
Nasa Excel pa rin po, sir.
Hindi pa visible yung data, sir.
Ito yung nag-struggle tayo dito talaga. Here, nakikita na ba? Do you see my data editor?
Yes po, sir. Data editor na po.
Okay.
Yes,
So do you see this? Treat first row as data. And then another option, treat first row as variable names. Do you see those?
Yes.
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. So I will choose treat first row as variable names. Ayan. So ito na sila. So nailipat na natin yung result ng survey mo, no, dito sa Stata. Now, do you see that the spreadsheet is now
Sir, please po.
out?
Nag-copy lang po kayo nun
Yes.
sa Excel, sir.
So ang ginawa ko yung result ng survey ni Fe, no, I selected all or Control A, tapos copy, paste. Pinapili ako kung anong gagawin ko doon sa first row. So pinili ko yung first row will be the variable names. And then I click paste. So ito na yon. Question? No question? Ayan. Guys, ulit-ulitin natin to, ha. I want you to be familiar with this. this will be your friend, no, when you will be writing your thesis. So do you see the red letters, red numbers? Hello?
Yes po.
Yes po, nakikita po.
All right. Okay. Now, if I minimize this screen, ayan. So anong nakikita na na screen ngayon?
Wala po.
Yan.
Wala po, sir.
Ayan, ito.
Ayan.
I minimize that.
Yan, sir. Yan na.
Yan. So, nandito na tayo. So, nakapasok na siya kanina. O, lipat ako dun sa data editor, ah. Ayan, naging data editor ba siya? O, yun pa rin.
Yan po.
Ito, data editor.
Yes po.
Ayan. If I minimize, ayan, nakikita na ba yung Stata screen? Anong nakikita ngayon?
Yes po, sir.
Yung Stata screen.
Yung Stata po.
Okay. So, do you see on the left side, nakikita ba yung ito yung mga commands, nandito sa upper left, yung mga commands? Guys, I just need your confirmation. Hindi ko kasi alam kung ano yung nakikita tsaka hindi. So, you just answer yes or no, no? Nakikita ba yung command screen here?
Yes po, sir. Ito po, ito po.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you see the variables area? This one portion.
Apo.
Okay.
Yes po.
So here I have here the timestamp, the name, no, the name of the variable, and then the label, no, of the variable. Okay. Next I have the gender, no, that's gender. That's the affiliation, designation. Okay. Years in service. Ayan, ito medyo magulo pa siya eh. Okay. Now I can rename, no? I can rename the variables, no, in such a way na medyo malinis, no, ang dating niya. Okay. Now I'll start renaming yung years in service. Now what's the command? Okay. All small letters. I will write rename. Rename, itong years in service, i-click ko siya. So I don't have to encode it. No, baka magkamali pa ako sa encoding. Ayan. So rename years in service in numbers, sabi niya, tapos space, no? So pwede ko siyang gawing years underscore service. Bakit in-underscore ko siya? Kasi ang tatanggapin lang niya is one word lang talaga siya, yung dikit-dikit lang talaga. So rename years in service in numbers to years service. Ayan. So na-rename na siya, years service. Nakita?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Okay. Now this one, ito, educational level taught. Okay. So can we simplify it to educational level? Okay. So palitan din natin, rename here, educational level to, or let's just write educational underscore level. Yan. So, mas madali na siyang basahin ngayon. Huh? Okay. Next. What about this one? No? Tingnan natin itong variable na to. Tingnan mo. Ito. I would rather depend on myself than not. Medyo magulo, no? Okay. Can we just change this to this is a question on independence. All right, so let's rename it, no? Rename this one to, sabihin natin, independence 1. So parang independence question 1. Okay, so that's it. So na-rename na siya, no? Okay. Next, let's rename the next one. Rename this. To what? So, to independence 2. Next, let's rename the third one. To independence 3. Next, let's rename the fourth one, the fourth question to independence 4. Did you get this? Okay. Now I want to change the labels. No, I want to change the labels. Like for example, name. No, I want to make this name of respondents or names of respondents. The other one, gender of respondent. Next, let's say for example, this one. No, years in service. Let's say for example, you want to change something here. Ito okay na to eh. Itong I would rather depend on myself, etc. Okay. So what would be the command if you want to change no the label or the description of the variable? Okay. Let us say for example, I want to change yung name. So label no variable name, okay, open quote, let's say for example, name of respondents. Ganun siya. Okay, nagiba ba siya? Yes, it's name of respondents. I repeat, let's do gender, no, gender of respondents. The command will be label variable gender. How do we label? Open quote, gender of respondents. Okay, there you have it. Okay. Ano nga yung educational level taught kanina? What do you mean by this?
Yung pong primary, secondary.
Okay. So okay na to yung educational level taught. Okay. What about this one? Yung years in service. Tanggalin na natin yung numbers, no? Okay. So tignan natin. Label variable year service. Sorry. Variable years service to what? What's your description kanina nito, Fe?
Saan po, sir?
Dito sa years service, ano to? Number of years in the teaching profession ba to? Or years
Opo.
of teaching? Ayan. So you can have those. Okay? Next. Before I proceed, I think I wouldn't need any more the timestamp, no? And the timestamp. Can I drop, no? Can I drop? Yes, I'll drop. So just put drop timestamp. Ayan, so mawawala na siya. Okay. Now, I'll try to open my data editor kung nag-iba na yung aking mga data. Okay? So, I'll see if, ayun. Nakita niyo ba yung Excel file? Do you see the Excel file? O hindi?
Yes
Kita po,
po.
sir. Kita po.
Do you see it? Okay. So nakikita nyo, ito yun, no? So name, gender, affiliation, designation, year service, educational level. And then you have answers on independence question 1, independence question 2, independence question 3, tapos independence question 4. Okay. What have you observed? So yung mga categorical variables, sila yung nasa red. Na-observe nyo? Yung mga categorical, the non-numbers are written in red color, no? And then the numbers are in black color. Nakita? Guys, do you see the red
Yes po, sir.
letters
Yes po, sir. Kita
and
po.
the black numbers? Okay. So now I will minimize again. I'll go back here. So nakikita na ba ulit si Stata screen?
Yes po.
All right. Okay. Now I will do the first statistics, no? I'll work on gender. Okay, gender, no, is one type of a categorical binary variable, no, and we discussed last Saturday, no, that in the case of a categorical binary variable, ang pwedeng gawin dyan ay frequency, no? Okay. So, gawin natin ng frequency. How many of the respondents of FE, no, on her survey on independence are male and how many are female? All right, so the command is tab. It is short for tabulate. I repeat, the command is tab. It is short for tabulate. So I write tab and then I'll get gender and here is the result. Nakita niyo yung result niya? So who can read the result?
Yes po.
Ayan, Timothy. So ano yung result? How many are females? How many are males?
Sa frequency po ng female 14 po. Then sa male is 5. Then yung percentage po ng female is 73.68 and yung male is 26.32 po.
O, di ba? So we have that
Total
already.
summation po nila is
19. Okay, so based on the result of tab gender, no, we know that FE, no, has surveyed 19 respondents. Okay, and of the 19 respondents, 14 no, respondents were female, accounting for 73.68%, and 5 respondents were male, accounting for 26.32%. Yes, Danica.
Hi, sir. Sir, di ba change po natin yung command based po dun sa variables natin? Ngayon, sir, dun sa command din po, pag in-input po natin yung gusto natin mangyari, automatic na po siya nagsosolve. Tama po ba ako?
Correct, Danica. Ulitin ko ha. So,
Thank you,
like,
sir.
for example, ito yung ginawa ko, Danica, tab, that's the command, no? Tapos kinuha ko yung gender. Ayan. So I have the answer already. Okay, at sabi natin, no, lahat ng categorical
Thank you po,
variables,
sir.
pwede natin gawan ng frequency table. Okay? Now, yung affiliation, no, let's talk about it later, ha. Kasi parang nasayang yung ano, yung variable ng affiliation, 'di ba? Ang daming sagot, no? If I want to, I'll just check kung anong laman ng affiliation, ha. Okay. I will use the command codebook. O, di ba parang ang dami-dami ng values eh. 13 values, may DepEd, 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 ESL. Maybe kung ako ang gagawa nito, pipili ako ng mga magandang categories. Like for example, public school ba, private school, or others. Di ba? Kasi hindi mo magagawan ng ano to eh, ng tignan mo, you have 13 unique values, parang yung names. Eh, how many ano ka? Observations, you have 19 respondents, tapos ang lumabas 13 values. So mas maganda medyo magbigay ka ng mga categories tapos pipili na lang sila. No, next time you do it. Okay, Danica, are you still raising your hand? Hello?
No po.
Okay, sige. Oh, let's save the designation. Okay, let's save the designation. Let's save tab, no designation. Okay, so lumalabas, no, sa nakita niyo yung result ng tab designation. O Danica, ano yung result? So, nakamute ka yata.
Hello, sir. Nagloko po yung internet.
Okay lang.
Yung result po, yung frequency niya po ay teacher 1 is 13, so 68.42%. percentage. Teacher 2 is 5%. Ay, frequency is 5%. Ay, 5. Tapos yung percentage is 26.32. Yung others niya po is 1 frequency or 5%, 5.26.
5.26.
Total of 19.
Okay, so that's very good. Okay. Next, can we do a tabulation
Sir,
of,
pwede po magtanong.
yes, Fe?
Sir, ano po yung nasa last column, yung CUM?
Cumulative. Cumulative. Like for example, no,
Ah,
di ba yung others 5.26? Tapos yung teacher 1, 68.42. So ang cumulative nun is 5.26 plus 68.42. So you have a total of 73.68. Okay. Tapos yung teacher 2 naman, they account for 26.32%. So 73.68 plus 26.32. So that will be a total of 100%. Okay ba?
sige po.
Ayan.
Opo, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, based on our discussion last meeting, last Saturday, whether you have categorical, no, or continuous or numerical variables, pwede mo siyang gawan ng frequency. Di ba? Kasi yun ang pinaka-lowest level of measurement. So, lahat sila, no? Pero tayo for our, pipiliin lang natin, will limit sana si tab, no, kay categorical variables. Pero pwede naman, like for example, no, I want to do a tab of your service. Ayan, ito. Ayan, di ba? Okay. So, nandito si 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, how many answered 1 year? Oh, there are 2. There were 2. How many answered 2? There were 3, etc. Did you get that? Okay. Oh, let's now go to the answers. The answers are, anong tawag nga sa mga Likert scales? What type of variables are Likerts? They are what? The ordinal. Now, that's what we studied last time. Di ba, kapag categorical, one type of categorical variable would be the ordinal. Ito yung mga freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior. First honor, second honor, third honor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, let's do a tab, no? Okay. Of the answers to independence question 1. Tab IND 1. Okay. So, how many answered 1? Oh, there was only 1, no, who answered 1. How many answered 2? Wala. No, how many answered 3? 6. How many answered 4? 6. How many answered 5? 6. Okay? Now can we do, yes, Danica, question.
Sir, question. Di ba po, pag nag-tabulate na po siya, may chance po ba or may instance na po ba na nangyari sa Stata na hindi nagwa 100% po yung nakukuha niya?
Pwede siyang hindi 100%.
I mean, nagkakaroon po ba ng tasang error?
Oo. Kaya nga kung minsan doon sa cleaning of data, kasi baka nung nag-survey ka, hindi required, no, halimbawa, hindi siya required, hindi niya sinagutan. Diba? Di ba meron kang 19, supposed to be, no, 19 respondents. Pero hindi siya aabot ng 100% kasi hindi niya sinagot eh. Diba? Kaya nga, let's be very careful, no, when conducting a survey. If you need that answer, no, kailangan ilagay mo doon, required to be answered. No, pwede yun, yung sinasabi mo. Like for example, 19, hindi niya sinagot. Nakalimutan niya. No, so 18 lang ang lalabas. So hindi siya 100%. No? Okay? Now, let's do a more complex command. No? Like for example, I want to know, no, ano ba yung sagot ni males at saka ni females, no, dun sa independence question number 1. Okay. So I'll do tab. Ano gagamitin ko mga commands? Gender, Sino pa? At saka si independence question 1, comma, row. Row or column, no, will do. Ayan. Ayan, no? So these are the variables makikita mo, no? First, yung gender of the respondent, no? Tapos another variable would be the I would rather depend on myself than others. Okay. So on the left side, I have the female and then the male, no? On the right side, no, I have 1, 3, 4, 5, no? Obviously, wala kasing sumagot ng 2. Okay. So question, how many of the females answered 1? Oh, there was 1. Okay. How many of the females answered 3? No, there were 6 females who answered 3. How many of the females answered 4? There were 5. How many females answered 5? There were 2. Or how many males answered 1? 0. How many males answered 3? 0. How many males answered 4? There was only 1. And how many males answered 5? 4. Nakita? Okay, let's do that for question number 2. Well, let's have tab, gender, and independence question 2, row. You will know how many females answered 2 kasi walang sumagot ng 1, so there were 2. How many females answered 3? There was 1. How many females answered 4? There were 7. No, and how many females answered 5? There were 4. Okay? So more or less, are we following? So that is just one command, no? That is the tab, no? Tab command. Okay. Now I'll now go, no, to the mean and the standard deviation. Last Saturday, no, we studied also, no, that for continuous or numbers, no, we can compute for the average. No, in fact, no, you can compute for the median, no, for the mode. Or here, no, we will study yung mean, no, kasi yung mga ginagawa natin sa mga research papers natin, nire-report nila yung mean. Okay. May I ask, no, alin ba dito ang numbers? Ang talagang strictly numbers dito yung years in service. Diba? So my question is, what was the average age of the respondents, no, of FE? Okay. So the command is sum, no? So I'll write sum. I'll get year service. Ayun. The average age, no, was 3 point, sorry. Sorry, so that's years of service pala. Sorry, hindi pala age, no? What was the average, no, years of service in teaching? So what was the average years of service? It was what? 3.58 with a standard deviation of 1.67. Okay? Continue the story, no? The minimum was 1 and the maximum was 7. Did you get that? No? Okay. So, wala nang ibang continuous variables dito. But at the end of our lecture last Saturday, we said, no, that for ordinal Likert scales, we can treat them as numbers, as continuous variables. Okay? Di ba, when we discuss yung ambiguity, no, of variables. Okay, so in that case, can I get the mean? Yes, in fact, for our research papers, diba, we are reporting on what was the average, no, answer on independence question 1. Okay, so what was the average nga, no? So sum independence 1. This one is being reported. Diba? Ilalagay mo question 1. average or mean is 3.84 with a standard deviation of 1.07. Okay, next. I will do sum independence 2. There you have the answer. Next, I will do sum independence 3. There you have the answer. And then here, sum independence 4. And there you have the answer. Okay. Do minsan I receive I set in a panel for the defense of some MBA students. They reported the mean. They skipped the standard deviation. Probably they didn't know how to compute for the standard deviation. Sir, do we need to report the standard deviation? Yes. No, in fact, that was my primary question to them. No, the disclosure of numbers or statistical results was incomplete kasi in-skip nila yung standard deviation. So from now on, if you report the means, report also the standard deviation. Yes, Danica. Question?
Hi, sir. Opo. Sir, kasi po di ba na-download naman na po namin yung Stata, tapos nakita po namin paano po yung function nung pag-indicate ng commands. Sir, pwede niyo po bang ulitin from copying or nag-extract tayo ng file sa Excel, tapos ililipat po siya sa Stata?
Ulitin natin yung kanina. Okay lang.
Yung pag-transfer from Excel po mismo, sir, pag-extract, tapos paano po paglipat? Kasi medyo naglalag po kanina, medyo hindi po namin nakuha yung pinaka-umpisa.
Alright, sige.
Thank you, sir.
Sige. Kung gagawin natin yon, yung paglilipat natin, okay. Guys, my command is clear all muna. Clear all. Ayan. Tignan natin kung aandar. Clear all. Ayun, wala na siya. So, ulitin natin. No? Okay. Julius, anong tanong mo? Julius?
Yung po sa akin tatanong ni Ma'am Danica, tatanong ko din po, sir.
Okay. O sige, sabay, no?
Okay na po, sir. Okay na po.
Meron pa si Arnel.
Sir, itatanong ko lang po sana, di ba yung mga command, gaya po ng ng tawag doon? Yung pong iba kasi, di ba sir, meron silang list para doon sa mga command.
Yeah.
Pwede po kayang makopy?
Sir, yan sir, nasa harap na natin, sir.
Ay, ito po ba? Sige sir. Hindi sir, ibig sabihin ko like for example po.
I-summarize natin, no? I-summarize natin. Tama. Yeah, oo. Tapos guys,
thank you po, sir. Thank you po.
sobrang dami nang pwede mong gawin sa Stata. No, I'll just teach you siguro a few of the commands, yung mga alam ko rin lang. No, tapos if you want to do advanced studies, no, Google or YouTube, no, they are your friends here eh. Malalaman mo rin sila, no? Okay. Pero tama 'yon, yung mga meron tayo, sige, isa-summarize natin. I think I have those. Okay? Guys, tanong lang kayo ha. Tanong lang kayo, I'm okay. Hindi ko alam kasi kung anong dating ko sa screen, suplado, mabait o ano. Pero it's okay, no? You just ask questions. This will help you. Okay?
Sir, another question po kung ano lang.
Sige.
Bibigyan nyo na po kami ng copy ng recorded no? Kasi po, siyempre, makakalimutan po namin yan. Kailangan i-practice po namin.
Guys, I uploaded yung record natin. Hindi nyo ba nakita yung YouTube ko?
Kita po sir, nakita po namin.
Pag po ba, kompre, gagamit po ba kami ng ganyan? Hindi po o manual lang po yung namin?
Okay. O sige. These are specific instructions from the dean. No? I forgot to mention it in our first meeting. So number 1 question is, sir, sino po ang gagawa ng compre namin? Yung ba yung tanong nyo? Ako yun.
Apo.
So the policy
is
kung sino yung nag-handle,
okay po.
Siya yung gagawa. Siyempre, kung anong tinuro ko, yun lang ang ibibigay ko. Okay, sir. So paano yung gagawin nating
okay, sir.
no? yung compare natin will be, I'll give you the statistical results. Siyempre, hindi ka na makakagawa ng stata doon, no? Okay. Ako na magbibigay ng result, but you have to interpret the result. Like for example, no? I give you this one, yung pinakahuling result na to. Okay. So ang sagot diyan, no? The average, no, score on question number 4 was 3.63 with a standard deviation of 1.16. Yun ang sagot doon. Now, I'll teach you how to do interpretations. No, I'll teach you those. Pag-aralan muna natin si Stata.
Okay po. So, thank you po.
So now I'm going back to the question of
Okay, salamat po.
si Danica. No, I'll stop sharing first. Before I stop sharing, sige, stop sharing na lang. So, Danica, if you have downloaded already, alam ko, i-right click lang, no? Tapos i-extract. Nakapag-extract na ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So, hindi ko lang kung masishare. Tapos pag dinouble click mo siya, lalabas, makikita mo yung laman ng Stata 11. Okay? Tapos makikita mo doon sa pinakababa yung application which is Stata SE. Nakita ba yon?
Yes po.
Okay. So, pag inopen mo yon, makukuha mo na tong screen na ginagamit natin ngayon. Yon, okay kayo doon. Na-open nyo doon.
Yes po, sir.
Alright. Oh, yung tinatanong ni ngayon, Danica, how do we transfer? No? Okay, so buksan yung Excel file na nakuha mo sa survey mo. Of course, I presume nilinis mo na yung data. Okay. Select all is Control A. So, I'll try to share it. Oh, ito yung kay Fe. Nakikita niyo yung kay Fe?
Yes po.
Alright. So, Control A.
Control A.
Control A. Ayan. So, na-select all niya. Tapos, copy. Right-click, copy.
Right-click, copy.
Okay. So, punta lang ako ngayon kay Stata. No? Kasi doon ko siya ililipat eh.
State.
Ayan. Asan si Stata? Ayan. Si Stata. Ayan. Pagdating
Wala sa screen, sir.
so bubuksan ko lumipat ba siya ng screen or hindi? Punta ko kay Stata.
Hindi pa po, sir.
Ayan.
Hindi po po,
Ayan.
sir.
So nakarating na ako kay Stata.
Ayan, sir. Kita na po.
Ayan. Hanapin
Yes po, sir. Yan po po.
editor, edit. Dito. Sa taas, data editor, edit. Saan ko? Ayan. Nakita niyo yung spreadsheet.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Spreadsheet
sir.
na po
Yes.
kasi.
Okay. Right-click, paste.
Paste.
Ayan. Tatanungin niya ako, treat first row as data. Hindi yon ang pipiliin mo. Ito. Treat first row as variable names. Ito yung pipiliin mo. Ayan. Ayan. So, lumabas na sila. Here. Gets nyo?
Yes po.
Ayun.
Yes po, sir.
So, ulitin, hindi na.
Thank you.
Okay, now, you want to, ulitin natin kanina kung paano natin nilinis ito. Yung, yung pag-change nung name ng variable. O, hindi na. O, ulitin natin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, guys.
Ulitin po natin, sir,
Okay.
please.
Ayan, sige. Ulitin natin. Kanina, di ba, I changed the names. I changed the names using commands, no? Okay. So, let's demonstrate that again. Ayan, nakikita ba yung yung state ako? Ay, hindi.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Hindi kasi siya automatic yung nagaan. Ayan, okay. Tanggalin ko si si var1 si var1. Walang laman to si var1. No. How do I drop, no? I'll just drop var1. Tapos I'll drop also si timestamp. Drop timestamp. Okay, ano yung gusto kong palitan yung pangalan dito? Ito yung years in service Okay, i-click ko tingnan mo. Ayun no, parang years in service in numbers. No? Okay. Lagyan natin ng konting yung medyo maintindihan siya. So that's not a command. Okay. So ano yung ginagawa natin kanina? Rename. This is the command. Rename. Ayan, years in service. Okay. Space. Kung anong gusto kong pangalan. Okay. So, ang gusto kong pangalan ay years service. Ayan, na-rename na siya. Years service. Okay, we have renamed it already. Okay. Next. Itong isa. Yung educational level taught. Let's rename that, no? Okay. Rename educational level taught to educational underscore level. Yeah. And then let's rename, I would rather blah, blah, blah. So that's actually independence question 1.
Sir,
Yes. Question? Question? Yes, please.
Sir, di ba po dun sa may tab ng command, tapos po dun sa variables, di ba pag in-enter po natin si variable, lilitaw po yung command po, tama po?
Hindi pa. Nasa ano pa tayo? Wala pa tayo sa tab. Hello, nagre-rename na tayo. We're working on the names of the variables muna. We're still working on the, inulit natin lahat. Can we proceed with the renaming of variables?
Yeah.
Can we rename the questions, no? So rename this one. Okay, gawin natin independence 1. Next, rename itong next question. Gawin natin independence 2. Rename here. The third question, gawin natin independence 3. No, tapos rename this one. Gawin natin independence 4. Gets nyo? Next, what if I want to change the label or the description? Like for example, for name, no? I want to make that name of respondents. For gender, I want to make that gender of respondents. Okay? So ano yung command? Label variable. Tapos kukunin mo yung name. Huwag mo siyang i-type pa. Kasi baka sensitive yung niya, yung. So label variable name into what? Open quote name of respondents. Example, no, whatever you want to put there. Ayan. So nag-iba na ba? Name of respondents. Okay? Label variable gender, no, into gender of respondents. Ayan. And so on and so forth. Let's do years of service, no? Okay. Here. Years of service. So label year service. Sorry, mali siya. Label variable years service, into what? Into years in teaching. Yun. Okay. Kanina, dun sa, while I was in Excel, I would have changed si question eh. Kaya lang, dito ko na siya ginawa, yung pag-change into IND1, IND2, IND3, para matira yung niya, nasa label yung question. No? Okay. Let's say, for example, no, I want to know kung anong laman ni IND1. Okay? If I want to know kung ano yung laman ng variable, I just type codebook. Codebook IND1. Ayan, nakita. Ayan. Tapos nandun din yung label niya. Here. I would rather depend on myself than others. Okay? I want to know kung anong laman ni IND2. Codebook IND2. Ayan. So my personal identity, independent of others, is important to me. Okay? So those are the commands for changing the variable names and adding or changing the labels. Okay? Next, I mentioned that last Saturday, we studied about categorical and continuous variables. These are the general classifications of your variables or data. No? And one type of categorical variable is the binary variable, where you have two categories of the variable. And one example of that is gender. No? Because si Fe, no, sabi niya, you choose male or female. So we have two categories. Now, we do a frequency table. So how many were males? How many were females? So you do a tabulation. And the command for that is tab, short for tabulation. So you just write tab, and then kunin mo si gender, ayan, lumabas na siya. So there were 14 females, or 73.68%, and there were 5 males, or 26.32%. Okay? Now, can you do tabulation for all? Yes. As we mentioned last time, this is the lowest level of measurement. You can do it for continuous. You can do it for categorical variables. But for the rest of our sessions, si tab gagawin natin mostly for categorical variables. Okay, so as I demonstrated before, can I do tab for IND1? Yes. Tab 1. Sorry. Tab IND1. Here. So you would know how many answered 1, how many answered 2, how many answered 3, how many answered 4, how many answered 5. And then I mentioned also, in the first demonstration, that you can do a combination of variables. Like for example, I want to know how many of the males answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we combine? So we tab gender and IND1. Here. So that will give you an answer. Sorry. I think to make it complete, although binigay naman niya, tab gender IND1, row. Ayun. Ayan, mas maganda siya, yung result niya. Or column. Okay. So you would know how many females answered 1. I think I got disconnected,
Sir. Yes, sir. Nawala po kayo, sir.
Okay, so I'll share again. Okay. Now, after the tab, now you do the sum command. No? You do the sum command for the numbers. At isa lang talaga yung continuous variables natin dito. So, alin lang siya, yung years service. Okay, so I'll do sum. I'll write sum. I'll get year service. And I find out that the average years of service in the teaching profession of the respondents was 3.58 with a standard deviation of 1.68. Okay? And then I mentioned also last Saturday that Likerts are classified as ordinal variables. But nevertheless, we can treat them as numerical variables. So can we compute for the sum? In fact, talagang for your research papers, you will get the average score for each question. So sum IND1. Okay, so what was the average answer? 3.84. Okay, next, you have sum IND2. Ayun. Okay, so the average answer there is 4.1. So nandun siya sa sa level nung strongly agree, Okay. O sum IND3. Later we'll find out sa mga research papers itong mga pinag-aaralan natin. Ayan, IND4 here. So now let me continue. Kasi you are measuring your independence, di ba? So independence is not just IND1 or IND2, IND3, or IND4. You have to get the total of IND questions, the independence questions, and then you have to get the average. When you report it, it's IND1, IND2, IND3, IND4, and then the average. Okay, so let's generate the sum of INDs. Okay. So here is the command to generate a variable. Generate. Okay. So let's say, for example, let's generate the sum of IND. Ayan. So is equals to, let's have a formula. Let's have IND1 plus IND2 plus IND3 plus IND4. So that's how you generate the variables. Okay, sandali. Something is wrong. I'll just check. Let's do generate. I'll repeat it. Ayun, okay. So it's okay naman pala. Okay. So we have this already, I'll drop yung isa. Okay. Now I have generated the sum. No? Nakikita niyo ba yung screen ko? Do you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes,
po, sir. Yes po.
visit my data editor here. So you find
Yes
out,
po.
nakikita niyo yung Excel file ko.
Opo, sir.
Po.
So ito na yung mga lumabas, no? Ba't parang merong hindi na transfer? Here. Ba't walang naman si 1, 2, 3? Ah, mali yung pasok natin kanina. Guys, ulitin ko lang yung ano. Ulitin lang natin. Kaya pala. Ayusin ko lang. Drop lang natin yung mga rows. Mali yung pinasok niya kanina. Ayan. Let's check again. Ayan, okay na siya. Okay. So there are no more missing numbers. Okay. Now if I go now to my data editor, ayan, you will find out na nag-total na si 1, 2, 3, 4. Pero you don't present it.
Sir, hindi po kayo naka-share screen.
Ah, okay, wait. Ayun. So here. Here. Ayan, nakikita na? Okay. But you will not need the total.
Yes po.
You will need the average. Okay, so you will generate another variable, which is the average of the scores. Okay, so again, the command to generate a new variable is generate. Okay, let us say, for example, the average underscore IND is equals to, how do you get the average? Diba the sum divided by 4. So you have that already. Okay, so if you look at your data editor, ito na yung mga scores. So you have 4, 5, 5, 4.25, 3.25, etc., etc. Okay? So, going back to my status screen, nakikita niyo ba yung aking status screen? Now, can I get the sum of the average? Sum average independence scores. Ito siya. So it is 3.90 with a standard deviation of 0.84. Question. Di ba pag ipipresent mo siya doon sa iyong paper, gusto nila kasi dyan, isa-isa eh. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, tapos the average. Okay, so ang gawin mo, isum mo siya lahat. Okay, sum independence 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the average. Yan. So, ganyan mo siya ipipresent ngayon. So, anong kukunin mo dyan? Kukunin mo si mean for question number 1 with the standard deviation, si question number 2, 3, 4, tapos si average. Now, the average is 3.9 with the standard deviation of 0.838. Ano yung conclusion mo dito? No? What is your conclusion here? No, that the average independence score of the respondents was 3.4. And 3.90 is between neutral and agree. Di ba? Nandun ka sa, very close siya dun sa agree. So, hindi ka strongly agree, wala ka sa disagree, wala ka rin sa strongly disagree. So, you have the statistical results already. No, here. Now, up to this point, do you have questions?
So far, sir, wala pa po.
So far, wala pa. Okay. So here we have demonstrated already, how to do, change of variable names, add, change labels, and then how to do a tab, a tabulation. And we said the tab can be done, for all categorical and numerical variables. But for us, we will concentrate for categorical variables, for tab. And for numbers, like years of service, we will use sum, because we did the mean or the average and the standard deviation. And for the scores in the Likert, though we are saying, we always repeat that they are ordinals, but we treat them here as numbers. So we need to compute also for their mean and the standard deviation. Ito